Ladies and gentlemen, Mitch McConnell basically gave Democrats the Senate. I want to read you. Mitch McConnell calls Donald Trump's bluff in Alaska. This is an article on April 18th, 2022, published on April 18th, 2022. On Monday, the Senate Leadership Fund, the super PAC aligned with McConnell, announced that it had booked more than $7 million worth of ad time in Alaska as GOP Senator Lisa Murkowski tries to fend off a challenge from Kelly Tshibaka, who has been endorsed by former President Trump. Now, that's $7 million, and that's not even all that. That's a quick search. They probably gave millions more. That $7 million could have been given to Adam Laxalt, who could have won Nevada. It was a razor-thin margin. And so, if you're in the National Review or the Washington Examiner or the Daily Wire or anywhere, well, the Daily Wire doesn't really only blame Trump, but if you think that DeSantis is a million times better and it's not McConnell's fault, like the National Review is like, oh, it's McConnell's fault that Arizona was lost because of Trump. Well, Arizona wasn't lost because of Trump 2 years ago. Jeff Flake and McCain and Jeff Flake were openly hostile to Trump. You had Richard Burr, other Senate Republicans, openly hostile, investigating and coming to the conclusion that the Kremlin wanted a Republican president. You destroyed whatever brand the Republicans had, which actually they didn't really have a brand. Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld completely obliterated whatever was left of that old Lincoln Project Republican brand or marketing or whatever prestige, like whatever prestige Reagan or, any allure or any, kind of like any quality or any prestige or any, nostalgia, that's the word I was using, for an old school Republican like Reagan, okay? There is no more nostalgia for the Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld old Republican political party, okay? The closest thing to Reagan is Trump, okay? Reagan did not engage in never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts because he took over in a time when we were forced to learn the lessons of Vietnam. Okay, then after Desert Storm, and then 10 years later, Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld completely, they were the antithesis of Reagan in a lot of ways. And they destroyed whatever was left of any nostalgia or allure or prestige the Republican Party had. Even if you don't think that Mitch McConnell is 100% at fault, why didn't he give that $7 million? Hit subscribe to this channel right now, ladies and gentlemen. Lisa Murkowski defeats another Republican. I mean, this is like the most absurd thing you've ever heard in your life. The malice, the petulant, like McConnell and Republicans, and even you have to be so petulant. The people of the National Review say, well, it's all Trump's fault and we need to move on from Trump. It's like, what? You spent money when you had a Senate seat simply because of malice and petulance. You didn't want a Trump Republican to win Alaska. God forbid a Trump Republican didn't win Alaska. So Kelly Tshibaka lost. She was a Republican. Lisa Murkowski's a Republican. So what was the point here? What's the point? How does this help Republicans win? You could have had the Senate, but Mitch McConnell benefits from not having this. He gave $7 million. $7 million that could have been given to Adam Laxalt, who barely lost. And you have to ask yourself, that's probably not that was just a quick search, $7 million. And even the article that Mitch McConnell calls Donald Trump's bluff in Alaska. What is the point? What is the point here? So it's like, it's like you have a situation where and hit subscribe to this channel, ladies and gentlemen. I'll have a live stream tomorrow on Thanksgiving, so it'll probably be in the evening, but I'll have probably like about a 6-7 p.m. live stream in the evening tomorrow for Thanksgiving. Have a safe and happy and healthy Thanksgiving. But if you have $7 million that you could give to Blake Masters or to Adam Laxalt, okay, and both were outspent by tens of millions of dollars by incumbents, it was McConnell's job to win the Senate. Then he focused on candidate quality. Months back, he was turning on Trump-endorsed candidates. And here's the problem. Fetterman against Oz in that debate, you couldn't even understand the man. He wasn't even communicating in a normal, healthy manner. It was like listening to Yoda if Yoda was an alcoholic. If Fetterman and Biden had to have this hot mic and you could hear what they were saying when nobody was around, you'd have a better chance of deciphering whale sounds. Okay? You'd have a better chance. Okay, Democrats don't care about candidate quality. That's a code word for we want Lincoln Project, or not even, we want never Trump Republicans. And then the Republicans say it's Trump's fault, but you have to rally. Mitch McConnell didn't defeat Clinton. Mitch McConnell is not going to walk into a stadium with 30,000 or 20,000 or 10,000 people. Trump will. And they say, well, that doesn't translate to victory. Yeah, well, I guess it doesn't, but it did in 2016, and it usually does. You don't go to a rock concert, or you don't go to a performance and 2 people are in. Even if there's 10 people, it doesn't mean the performer is bad, but generally the big rock stars get fill stadiums. Okay? And so you have a situation where no one is going to be enthusiastic for anyone but DeSantis or Trump. DeSantis is great because he's like Trump, not the other way around. Nobody says I love Trump because he's just like DeSantis. So, and like I always say, if they went after DeSantis with a dossier and all of media said, oh man, he's worse than Trump, but Trump was even less nutty than DeSantis, oh my God, his poll numbers would decline. And I like DeSantis a lot, but he has the benefit of being like a second string quarterback. But you have Lisa Murkowski winning, and it's Lisa Murkowski beats Trump back Kelly Tshibaka. Well, who have you benefited? How is this Trump's fault? You should put partisanship aside if you're McConnell. Trump leads the Republican Party. There's nobody even close to him. Even DeSantis, if you want to primary Trump, DeSantis is not going to defeat Trump. There's no way. There's no way. Okay? Because for a number of reasons, primarily when Trump was in office, he did great things. And Trump speaks to the country like everyone. You can look at what Dave Chappelle was talking about. Yeah, he tells the truth. He tells the truth. I don't know if Dave Chappelle's the biggest Trump fan, but he was explaining, yeah, Trump says the system is unfair. The whole thing is corrupt. It is true. It is, and it has been that way a long time. Trump comes in, says the truth, and then the far left, the intel agencies, Hollywood, tech companies, everyone, and Mitch McConnell all band together against Trump, and now it's Trump's fault. It's Trump's fault that the $7 million wasn't given to Adam Laxalt or Blake Masters. I mean, or Don Bolduc in New Hampshire. I mean, you could have gotten New Hampshire. And instead of campaigning or raising or doing enough to raise the money, if Republicans wanted to win, okay, they would rally around the person that defeated Clinton, okay? They rallied around Biden. The man's so the man's slurring his speech. He's making up words. He's, aimlessly kind of doddering and dithering about, and they're fine with it. They voted for a deceased person in Pennsylvania. And I'm not even talking about Fetterman. I'm talking about another, a deceased person. Democrats don't care. It's a religion for them. They don't care about candidate quality. They're going to back anyone who's a Democrat, no matter what. And Adam Laxalt and Blake Masters were good candidates. Like Adam Laxalt, okay, you could say, well, Blake Masters was too Trump Republican. Adam Laxalt wasn't really like, a big Trump Republican. He was endorsed by Trump, but he could have used that money. Mitch McConnell was just malicious. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. I'll be back in a couple of hours. It's almost as if he benefits to lose, and I think that politically he does. Give me your thoughts below.